Greetings, gamers! Kevin here with what we've all been waiting for, right? A PlayStation version of Doom on our journey through the ports. Apparently this PlayStation version is what a lot of people agree on as one of the best ports of the time. So, we finally went through a lot of ports that were around this time, and I think I've made you guys wait long enough. So, without further ado, let's start it up and take a look at how the PlayStation version holds up to today's standards, and we'll compare it to back in the day also. So, same rules, I get one death, and ultra violence, because we want to keep it consistent, guys, so let's see how it pans out. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I haven't played this version in ages. Well, first off, I can already say that we got the same problem like the Saturn. Here's a guy that don't belong there, from if you're going to compare to the PC version. I can already tell that this PlayStation controller feels much better than the Jaguar and even the Saturn, that's for sure. And immediately I'm noticing as a difference is, see how it's like red in here? That's really cool. It's got colored lighting effects, and you know what? That's a bonus for the PlayStation right there, even compared to the PC. The PC couldn't do color lighting as far as I know. Not like that. And then even here. Green. Shows the gun turns green because I'm standing right on that. That's pretty cool. Color lighting is a nice effect. Once again, similar to the Saturn version, you have the ambient music, which I don't mind, but I still prefer the traditional Doom music. And yeah, this color lighting is really slick, and now that I'm kind of paying attention to it, it almost seems a little yellow on the walls there, which I don't think it was like that on the PC. See how it holds up here. Still trying to see how the weapons are. Yeah, it just seems like real sharp. And just immediately I can already tell that I'm not even holding run because it's so smooth. Because back in the 3DO, 32X, and all the other ports, I'd be holding run all the time just to make it kind of move. I'm not even holding run yet. Let's see here. I believe this is run. There you go. Look at that frame rate. This PlayStation is holding up. And I want to say this was ported by a different company, obviously, than the Saturn. I think Rage Software did the Saturn for US. And I don't know what they were doing. But, there's our friend. Ultraviolence equals chain gun guy. Well, there's a consistent inaccuracy from the Saturn version. Looks like they kept that in there. He's from Doom 2, shouldn't be in Doom 1. Oh, cool, check this out. It's all green in here because of the slime room, which is just a nice effect. It kind of adds to it. It's a unique effect that I don't see in any of the other ports, just the PlayStation one so far. So props to the PlayStation on that one. This is really smooth too, I gotta say. So far on the frame rate, very smooth. I'm still getting used to the controls because I literally just popped it in to give you guys my initial reaction to it. And it looks great here. Really looks great. I like the smooth. What's my other famous test I like to do? There it is. I can strafe in a circle. I'm happy. I'm happy. I can strafe in a circle, no problem. No problem in this game. Very smooth frame rate. Very well done. Yeah, this is like a whole different game. It feels like a whole different game. Oh, I see. And you got like this dark blue lighting, which is a little tough to see in, but very cool. Very cool effects. I really actually enjoy it. Just for variety's sake. I mean, if you're a purist about the PC version, well, then go play the PC version. That's my suggestion. But for us that just like a little bit of variety or just want to try out different ports, it's a cool difference. But as I was saying before, I kind of got sidetracked because that chain gun guy. That, there's that paint elemental. Okay, so this is just like the Saturn, but actually works. You know what I mean? And that sound effect doesn't sound very accurate for him, but that's because we're using like a whole different sound effect pack that's similar to the N64 version, which we may get to one day. Here's the other test that I usually forget to look at. Look at that. Looks like it's nice. And actually, yeah, no cross-thatch dithering look there. Not at all. And I'm using RGB just like I did on the Saturn. In the Saturn version, I was one of the viewers let me know, was very knowledgeable and said that they used dithering, and that's why I was getting that cross-thatch look. And what that basically means, to make it a little bit more simplified for you guys, is that when you use dithering, that's a predominant way to program for composite video. And since I want RGB video, which is much clearer, I wasn't getting that dithering effect, which would make it look more shaded, I guess, instead of like that screen look, because the RGB's showing me everything accurately. So I guess if you want that effect, play it in crappier video composite. But right there we got 116% kills, and that's pretty funny, because we did the chain gunner. Let's take a look at the next level here. This is feeling really smooth so far. If I keep getting sidetracked, I'm not going to get sidetracked hopefully this time. Oh, I just can't get over. That looks so cool. With that blue lighting in the middle, and then the, oh, look at that, the red on the red door over there. Really highlights the door well for you. Well, this imp means business. He already came from the elevator room. Let's take a look. Yeah, this blue lighting's slick. Very nice effect here. And I got the volume down low because I'm recording, obviously, but if you really just turned out the lights and pumped up the volume on this or put on a headset, I bet you could feel really immersed in this version of Doom. Really has like an immersion effect to it. That's awesome. Like I was saying before, I believe Williams did this port, and you know what other Doom they ported? The Super Nintendo Doom, which we did before. And that port turned out extremely accurate to the PC and very good compared to other ports, and it was ported by Williams. So it looks like when it comes to Doom ports, make sure Williams did it, is my my recommendation from what I'm seeing here. This level's so classic though. Level 2, can never get enough of this level. I can always remember the first day I played it and I was like, oh, this is so immersive, it felt like at the time. I liked how you could, I really enjoyed this secret up here that we're getting to. But yeah, here, see, it's all red in here. It's not like that in the PC version. It's just kind of a nice accent. Did good with the color. I can't shut up talking about the color and how they really implemented that in a pretty cool fashion on this one. Now, instead of gooing over the PlayStation version, let's start being a little bit more critical. Here's some more inaccuracies. We got the chain gunner. He doesn't belong, but that's just in the port in general, so that's going to affect all the ports that are using this same type of engine. But I don't remember him. He isn't in the Jaguar version. That's probably, I don't remember him being in the Jaguar version at least. But we did them all in ultraviolet, so I guess that's an inaccuracy. Very interesting. Even I can't remember. I've been doing so many Doom ports lately. This all seems smooth, nice. No complaints yet, but we really haven't challenged it neither. Because here I'm running, just cruising through. Yeah, that frame rate's keeping up real nice compared to other ones. I'll say for the most part it feels like it's about 30 frames per second, which Doom should be at. But I could see maybe when it gets a little crowded or some other challenges here, I could definitely foresee maybe a little bit of a slowdown, which we're going to try to challenge and see if we can get that to happen. Oof, there's some more chain gunner fun right there. But yeah, another lit room, kind of like yellow in here, which is really cool. Sets it off. But no, Williams is doing a cool job. And right there, there's my favorite place to test. They gib. They gib just fine in PlayStation version. No problems with gibbing. The gibbage is good, guys. Graphics seem accurate. No problems here. This seems smooth. And red door. You don't get much more red than that. Awesome. Now up here, is there... Yep, there he is. There's the demon. And he actually looks like a Spectre. I mean, he's like faded. He doesn't have that cross thatch. Doesn't depend on dithering like the Saturn. So he actually... he's not like the PC version, though. The PC version, I remember being like kind of clear and kind of like blurry. He's just really you know, faded just like that other wall was. Really faded look, which is another difference, but it's a cool and it's a good functional one. That's definitely not easy to see, so it's still serving its purpose well. Very cool. Let's check out what they did down here. I mean, everything just feels so smooth. Especially from all the other ports I've been doing. This one just feels so much smoother, so much better. It's like a great experience to say the least. And right here, all in order. Definitely cannot go wrong with this setup. I have to compliment, though, that the controls and this controller here are working out pretty well. I will say there is one flaw, unfortunately, which I have to kind of cut it slack for, and that's the fact that it does not support analog, unfortunately, because this game came out before analog was even an option. They didn't have analog controllers yet, so that's why I give it a pass. But it would be nice if somehow they could have like released a different version or an updated version and it'd support analog. But right there, I actually had to shoot this door to activate it, which is PC accurate. I don't remember what happened in the Sega Saturn one. We'd have to look back at that video, but I think it was just open here. It was open like a regular door, but this one actually was triggered by a shot, which is PC accurate. Once again, that's the way it should be. Very well done. Very well done. That is awesome how that worked out. Very awesome. And just while I'm playing here and talking to you guys, I'm experiencing something that I haven't experienced with any of the other ports, and it's like, you know what? With the way I'm running, the way the controller feels, the way things are moving here, I actually feel like I'm playing Doom. I mean, seriously, it actually feels like Doom now. And the controls are just very well done. You got the L and R2 to rotate between your weapons back and forth. Now, unfortunately, that is a disadvantage. You have to rotate through your weapons. You don't have the PC advantage of hitting directly to the weapon, or the Atari Jaguar advantage, which had that big old keypad. It definitely used it, you know what I mean? It took advantage of that keypad, and you could have a weapon. So that's one subtle advantage for the Jaguar over the PlayStation, but that's such a minor complaint of mine, because for the most part, Deathmatch was the time for me that I felt it was extremely crucial for me to be able to switch to a weapon quickly. Now, I do know in, like, you know, later levels and things get pretty intense and crazy, I can definitely see me being in a position of, hey, you know what? I want to be able to get to a weapon immediately. I want to be able to just click that button and go. But it's more of a deathmatch thing for me, which I'm glad we actually got to that topic, because guess what? That is another advantage to this version. Yep, more of that color lighting. And the chain gunner guy, that's totally inaccurate. The PlayStation version actually supports, with a serial link, the ability to do deathmatch and co-op. Now, you can't get fancy and daisy chain a bunch of PlayStations as far as I know, but you can do at least with 2 players, so you can deathmatch a friend if you had 2 PlayStations and you had 2 TV sets and a setup and a serial link, which I do actually have a serial link, and I have played PlayStation 1 serial link games that are compatible. They are actually extremely fun and a very unique experience. I gotta say, PlayStation 1s are not very expensive systems to get. They're kind of one of the cheapest to buy, because the PlayStation 2 is backward compatible and some versions of PS3 are backwards compatible. And you know what? That really hurt the sales of PlayStation 1. So, you can get, just be careful though, because I am aware that PlayStation 1 has a slew of different models. And there's actually models that are missing or not supporting ports that the other ones do. So just look on the back of it, no matter what model you end up getting. I know offhand that they made a up-to-date PS1 version that is nice and mini. The PS1 mini is very cool. I like it for the portability factor and how they sell Sony actually sold, and there's an aftermarket for a screen that you can plug onto it. Those are really cool, but guess what? It doesn't have the serial port. So you'd think that one would be ideal because you can snap a screen onto it, and you can, you know, it's more portable because it's smaller. That'd be the way to go, but no. They take the serial port off that, which I'm guessing to keep it small, but it really stinks they took it off that model. So if you want the serial port, make sure you get the big old classic PS1 kind of looking model. I'm pretty sure all the bigger original looking PS1 models have that support. So like I said, I think they range nowadays. I got a stack of PS1s, and they're all different models because I wasn't as I didn't find out until later, and luckily all the ones I picked up do have the serial port on them, other than the Mini, because that doesn't support any of them. You want to look at what games can be supported with Serial Link, and you know what? It does have a large library support in it for games. Let's take a look at this. This is pretty. Yeah, that's what I want to see. My gib barrel. Nicely done. Man, this just the controller's just smooth as silk compared to all the other ports. Not feeling a slowdown with the guns. I remember like kind of using the chain gun, and it just seemed like a nagging slowdown to me when I used the chain gun. In like the Saturn version, it just seemed to like even get choppier, and I won't even get into the 3DO and 32X with that. But like I was saying before, the Serial Link is a very fun capability, and it's not too expensive because these PlayStation 1 models are not that pricey. So to pick up 2 PlayStation 1s, or even find a friend who's got one probably still, you'd be in good shape, you know what I mean? And that alone would create quite the unique experience, because unfortunately I looked into it, I remember, because there are some specific Serial Link games that, whoa, will get slaughtered at that rate. I'm at the bad angle with the chain gun guy. Better start concentrating. I'm starting to get low on health. You don't want me dying too early on this version. Whoa. It definitely is faster. Definitely faster. But as I was saying, and looking down that space down there, when you look down this tunnel, this was another good testing point we used in other videos I've just seen. I can actually tell what I'm shooting at from far away. It's not like, it's not all a blurry Lego checkered mess. It's definitely very good. Very good. Looks great. There we go. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, that music definitely sets the tone of what's going on here. You just kind of get into the action here. Give me that. My blue door. I got my blue key. I will say it's a little bit of a struggle for me. My accuracy isn't that great because, I mean, you have to use the D-pad on the PlayStation 1 controller for the movement. That's about the only thing I can really complain about, because I really would prefer to use the analog stick, but it's still very good for what it is. That's still a million times better than a lot of the others. And yeah, this all looks pretty slick here. That green color effect's really cool for there. And finally at the blue door. Taking a quick look. Man, look at all that. Wow. The monsters definitely seem to actually move faster, because I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is like the other ports, and everything seemed to move a lot slower, so you actually get the effects and challenge that you'd normally feel in Doom, because it's a fast-paced game. It's not this slow action here. There we go. Don't want to forget our other fun secret here. Oh, this is definitely different. This is way different. This doesn't look the same to me at all. Like the way that climbs up, I don't know. Maybe it's just the lighting or something. Definitely not like the PC version. And then a yellow door. Weird. Very weird setup here. That's right. The yellow key was in that other secret room, but I'm not going to backtrack it. We're just here for comparison's sake, guys. Unfortunately. That's right. That's what you need that yellow key for. That's its kind of hidden room. But, man, this just looks slick. It moves fast. I'm not going to take the warp to the military base, like I said in most of the other videos. John Romero's not even a fan of the military base, from what I understand, and I fully agree with the man. As military base level, it's just it's really like a bullet sponge level. It just feels like a level to waste your ammo to kind of add to the challenge. Because I always felt like in the first episode of Doom, you were really good on ammo, and unless you did the military base, that kind of really put a dent in it for me for my ammo, so you'd be rebuilding. So I guess that kind of adds the challenge. But we're still cruising along, looking pretty good. Not too shabby at all. And we're already on stage 4. There's a good entry. The aiming's pretty much spot on for what I'd expect it to be. Oh, gotta shake and move because these are not slow. Oh man, he came by real fast. He usually doesn't get out here a demon from over there. That's crazy. Clean up that mess. And they're all shooting at each other. And that's the other thing we're testing. They fight each other, which is cool. As I want to say in the 32X version, and I don't know if we had a good chance to test it. I can't hit that barrel up there. There we go. That's kind of annoying. I don't know. I don't think the 32X version the guys could even fight each other because they're always facing you, and the same with the Super Nintendo. The AI couldn't fight each other. There we go, man. More color lighting fun. Looks good. Looks good. But overall, I can definitely feel and see that this version is very, very smooth compared to the others. You want to know what the other funny, ironic part of this is? I believe this game came out for PlayStation 1 at least a year or two before the Sega Saturn version. So Sega Saturn had even more time to port it, and they did worse than the port that's already been out for a couple of years for PlayStation. So that tells me that it really is on the developers that ported that version that didn't do their job very well, because I would love to see if Williams did the Sega Saturn port, how it would have turned out. Because knowing them, they seem to go above and beyond here with the Sega, I mean with the Doom ports. They did it for Super Nintendo, they did it for PlayStation, and they just seem to always impress with their ports for the hardware that it's on. I mean, this is on a 32-bit machine, the Sony PlayStation, and yeah, it has the advantage of CD capacity, because what, the 32X is technically 32-bit, and that doesn't look anything like this. We're playing full screen, colored lighting. Pretty much from what I understand, most of the levels are intact. I mean, it is a specific port version that's on the Atari Jaguar and Sega Saturn, where some levels are simplified a bit, the larger levels. There you go, that's nice and bright green for you now. And this seems to be the other route to go. I think this is the route was intended for this level, is to take this way so then you could have the radiation suit, because with the radiation suit, Oof. Should have hit those barrels sooner. You could go down here and not get hurt and hang out in the radiation spot and pick off these shotgun guys. So then you're not racing in here and trying to fight with them. And we finally got ourselves a nice rocket launcher. Nice rocket launcher, which we're going to put away. So, there we go. Now here's another classic spot. The PC obviously only gives you one chance at it. You hit the switch. This is an elevator that goes up and down, which is nice. It's just an easier convenience for the port users. But this is doing pretty well and looking pretty smooth. There's no graphic there. I think there'd be a graphic. There's just a couple pools of blood there. But you know what? You're not going to notice as much of the aesthetics being off in the PlayStation version, in my opinion, because the gameplay is smooth and it's fun. And when you're zipping around and not sitting there looking at a bogged frame rate like you were with the other ports, it is much more enjoyable to actually play. Way more enjoyable. Uh-oh. A little crowded here. A little crowded. A little crowded. A little crowded. I just don't remember this many guys here. But that's ultra violence for you. Uh-oh. Oh boy, now we got the Lost Soul fun. Because we gotta have pain elementals from Doom 2 in here. Because that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. That's what we want. What's another aspect of this that we look at? The map. Okay, the map you have to move on. Have to move on the map. That's one disadvantage, kind of. Because you can't, like, stop where you're at on the map. Uh-oh, somebody's hit me. That you can't just hit a button and then kind of look around on the map like you could on the PC. And I want to say other ports did allow that option. But this one, you have to move while you're on the map. And that's just kind of weird, see what I mean? So it's like, you get to move around as this and turn around here, apparently. It's just kind of funny how that works out, but it's still just a minor complaint. It's not the end of the world with that setup here. Oof. There we go. There we go. Nice. Hey, we're doing good. Doing good. Cruising through. But I can really see, just from the first couple levels, obviously, how much of a significant difference there is on the PlayStation port compared to the others. And even for today's standards, because there's so many different ways you can play Doom nowadays, this isn't like your only alternative, obviously. But when I think back to around, I want to say 1995 when this version came out, if I could have only gotten this version of Doom as opposed to the 32X version, I could only imagine what it would have been like. Oh, here we go. Whoa, what is this? Look at this guy. He's like dark green. Oh, that's right. He's like, can't remember what it is, but I'm gonna delve in and give you guys a sneak preview for Doom 2 on these ports. Right here, this demon that's a special color, it's like he's kind of hard to see and he's like dark green. He's a stronger version of the demon, and they added him because they couldn't implement the Arch Vial in Doom 2. So they replaced the Arch Vial, I believe, with those demons. And I think it was like the frame rate couldn't handle the speed of the Arch Vial. He was so fast. and they couldn't put them in the game, so to replace them, which a lot of people can't stand the Archvile, and some people might actually like that, but the challenge-hungry people are going to be disappointed, and I can see that too. They're definitely pushing the PlayStation pretty hard here, running Doom as well as it is. And the Archvile resurrects demons too, so that would add to the mechanic, would probably slow things down too. I remember that being like a challenge if I was on a really big level on the computer and I didn't kill the Archvile. He was running around and he was resurrecting like no tomorrow. So he's definitely a whole AI system in himself that's going to challenge any type of platform, which the computer can easily handle, but when we're talking about retro consoles back in the day, it'd give them a run for their money. So no, you're not going to see any Archvile in Doom 2, and that's why we saw that different type of demon. But I don't remember seeing that demon in the Saturn version. Like they completely threw him out. They said, oh, don't need him. So that might be another difference to consider. That hey, Saturn version does not have that big new demon. Well, on Ultraviolence, that's probably why he's there, because Ultraviolence and all these chain gunners. That's your surprise. Nice. But it's definitely getting smoother. Let's get a little bit more variety for you guys. Right? Right. There's a great spot. Who else wants some? He wants some. Let's see some gib. There we go. Give it up, would you? Let's give it up here. Give it up for him, guys. Actually, it's... yeah, clean out that room a little early. The aiming's good. It's got still the color effects. Woof. He nailed me. Ah, I'm missing it. Missing it. There we go. Yeah, the auto aim's right on for this. Let's save some of those rockets for later. Run some more bullets through them. No, I gotta say, out of all the versions we've played, this is definitely the smoothest. The only other one that I could say that was as smooth, probably the Game Boy Advance version, which was smooth, but it looked a lot worse because I had it on the big screen, which I'm sure on a smaller screen it didn't look as bad. So there we go. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, wait for a surprise here. Damn, wake him up. I just don't remember the demons taking so many hits. They seem a lot tougher. Some real tough bullet sponges here. There we go. Might as well go clean up the other side, right? Because they all just came out to surprise you. It's like I shot him in the kneecap so he didn't go down in that one hit. I didn't get him with this. Come on. There we go. Ugh. Yeah, that's a real cool effect that even the computer didn't do. It's a very unique effect where it's just kind of like faded out like that. That's pretty cool. I think it's a good alternative for whatever reason they didn't do it the other way. So, oh, the fun just will not stop here now. Good lighting effects, good aim. Give me some of that. Alright. Nice. And we'll take some health while we're at it. Why not, huh? Why not? Now we got ourselves a nice radiation suit. No problems here. Trick, you want to shoot that before you get that right next to you, because then they'll shoot it, or you'll shoot it and hurt yourself. So, there we go. What else we got hiding up here? Get our secrets. A little bit of bullets, some bullets. And I'm not running a lot yet. I'm not feeling the need to run, maybe because it's still the first episode, and I think it's just because the frame rate is so smooth. It's like, I felt like I needed a run to get the frame rate to kind of do something on the other ports. This one, I mean, run is very smooth and nice, but I'm not feeling the need to run. It seems to actually be a quick enough pace without holding the button. But man, this is Very well done. But I will say I definitely miss the music. The music to this level in particular. Oh yeah. Music on this level is one of my favorites. So it just being the ambient music is really not as good, but you're going to get that with all these ports from this time. I do know that if you would like to play this port and you don't have a PlayStation 1, that they do offer a WAD, I believe. That's called the PlayStation version, basically WAD. And you can download it and play it with like Z-Doom or Vanilla Doom or any of the alternative ways on modern consoles. And you can actually play it on your PC and it'll be this version. Somebody went through and then modified the levels to all be just like this, and I want to say they even added the color lighting and stuff, and the demons look the way they are. See, that's definitely different. Right here they put this blue block and it's all the blue glowing here with the lighting, because the gun's blue in my hand here. That's a cool effect. That's a nice little effect they did. I'm assuming they're going to do that with a lot of the levels, just to kind of show that off. And that's pretty much the one big standout I'm seeing, that different demon you fight. And, wow, I can't see in there, man. It is pitch black. I'm not seeing them until they actually pop out. It's so dark in here. Yeah, that's going to be tricky. Kind of shooting blind a bit here. Gotta admit, guys, this is real dark in here. Real dark in here. Almost got to shoot so you can see. So that's not really helping as much as you'd want it to. Here you go. Yeah, the one lit up corner. And they dropped the ball on that too, unfortunately. Look at that. They lit up this part fine, but in the PC version you would get light amplification here. You really would. And you'd be set. You'd get light amplification, you'd be alright. And they're not there. I guess I don't fully understand why light amplification is not supported. I honestly do not understand why light amplification is not supported in this. Yeah, this is getting real dark and tricky now for me. Yeah, it's just something else you can't even see with this setup. And you're going to kind of get that effect, because unfortunately I'm doing this one, obviously. There we go. Uh-oh. Getting a little crowded. Wow! Whew. Well, right at the exit on 5. And you know what? That was all me on that one. That is definitely all me on why that happened. And I gotta tell you what the real drawback for at least this game is, that since I'm using the FrameMeister, which is a scaler, and taking the RGB signal from the PlayStation, when you put that on an LCD like this and these certain particular games, the screen's way darker than it'd normally be if you're using a CRT. So I really should have probably set this up and played on the CRT, but I can still tell from everything else this is obviously a way better version. It's going to be extremely hard to beat a port that was made around the same time that's going to be a competitor to this. We still have more ports to go through in our journey on Doom, and so far this one's the top one right now, which I'm not very surprised, because I've heard so many great things, and I don't think everybody on the internet can be wrong. So stay tuned for other ports that I have in the future, guys. Let me know what you think about this port, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Take it easy.